How to handle a PR crisis in the news. My name is Nadernejad. I'm the director of Nadernejad Media Incorporated. If you come to this video, there's a great chance that you're dealing with a PR crisis. I'm going to help you unpack it right now. So before the PR crisis happened, you need to ask yourself, were you prepared for it? Not did you have a good posture, public relations posture, to solve the issue, in that, did you know what to do, but were you actually prepared? Meaning, did you have a strategy for suppressing the negative content in search results in an organic, ethical way? Because sometimes in the PR cycle, we'll know when negative content is going to hit, when a court case is going to be reported on, when an investigation uncovers a scandal at a large public institution. We can foresee that sometimes. In more unlucky cases, it just hits. And then we meet and we have a crisis response. And oftentimes our crisis response doesn't go past internal and external communications, where our teams are running around and exhausted, and we don't really have control over the news cycle. I want to break this down using tactical online reputation management, which I do see as a branch of public relations, yet it is more tactical and more SEO. It's almost like public relations and SEO had a child. But this is going to help you in adapting your public relations posture and response, no matter the crisis, so that you can bounce back and recover damage quicker. The first one is run your procedures and your playbooks. Whatever it is that you typically do within your organization to respond to a PR crisis, do that. We don't need any changes to your existing model. If you don't have one, that's a great place to start. The second thing is to avoid passivity and, even worse, paralysis. Sometimes we'll respond and we'll wait. Then we'll respond internally, have a statement, send people there, and we'll just hope that it disappears. When you're a large organization, there's more scrutiny. So people are going to be watching, and how do you respond in the coming days? Sometimes it's best to go silent. Other times it's best to release a statement. But I always believe, no matter what happens, you must go back to business as usual. You cannot let a scandal, an emergency, or a crisis take you out of the market or out of the game, because you have a commitment to the people that you're serving, no matter what happens. And so I wouldn't overthink it. I would not over-ruminate. I would focus on action. Run the course of your crisis response in the way that it needs to happen. And then, if you can do this proactively beforehand, step number one is to prepare content, evergreen content, that is positive, helpful, focused on corporate social responsibility, sustainability, equity, these sort of content pillars, but also informative, not fluffy content about commitment to equity, commitment to security, commitment to these things, but actually helping people and actively doing so and sharing that with the world. This can look like long-form journalistic style articles of over 1,000 words I recommend for corporations. That means saving an archive of positive content that you can publish and disseminate to Google News publishers, higher domain authority publishers when negative content comes out. Now again, depending on your typical response to a crisis, you might want to wait a day. I recommend doing it sooner rather than later. What this can do is extremely tactical and helpful. When people search for you or the scandal, and you've published new Google News syndicated content, which you can source publishers on the web who are ready to do it for you in advance. Or you can use an agency like us to proactively prepare your online reputation management defense. When a crisis hits the press and you publish this evergreen content in Google News, that negative carousel on Google that shows those news images and the negative headlines will get washed out with the new content if done correctly. That means after a couple of days, when people do a search, because people come back to the scandal, people love drama, it's just typical in human nature, and sometimes it's not malicious, they're going to come back and see it. And when they see your content in there, they're not going to attack you for it for the most part. Most lay readers who don't have an agenda or observers are going to say, hey, maybe this didn't blow up after all. And that's what you're going for. You're going for this natural rinsing of the search engine and the news carousel. You're also going for publishing this on social media and social platforms, because doing a search for an organization on social media will likely bring up the most recent and relevant and viral content. Publishing positive content, making sure that evergreen content, like I said, isn't fluffy and is actually good. Perhaps you have a product that you want to release, but you can prepare and arm this product only for a reputation management crisis. This is highly strategic. Rather than saying, I'm releasing this software for users, it's open source, it's free, and doing that at a random time, wait for a crisis. After 2 or 3 days, say, Now we're doing the release, and then you can hit the press release, and then you can publish that. And because that is significant, interesting, and new, it's newsworthy, not only might you get other publishers and reporters who are going to report on it, look for independent platforms, not the big ones, not the legacy reporters, because they're also going to write about the negative things that happen and link back to it. But independent, smaller platforms who are more interested in your sort of business, your sort of corporation, your institution. They're going to talk about the new positive things that you did. This is going to create a positive cycle. It's going to push the negative content into the background. And it's going to make your public relations response more tactile and more robust. As online reputation management becomes more popular, more people are learning about it, but unfortunately, it hasn't yet fully integrated into the best practices of organizations. Online reputation management isn't frequently taught in public relations in the sense that we do it. People get an overview. It's something we should be focusing on now, and by adopting a better online reputation management strategy for your organization, you can prevent future damage. My name's Nadernejad, and thank you for watching.